Okay, I am going to give you each this shape to start with to build your postage stamp. So that way it will have the edges that look like a real stamp, and you'll be able to use this rectangular space to make your design. Now in Google Drawing, we know it's easiest to work from back to front, so I'm going to start by getting a rectangle under my shape option, and I'm going to make it a color. So I'm just lining up the cursor with the corners, dragging it diagonally down until that fills it in. And now I'm going to start to give it a color. I don't think I want a border on this, so I'm going to change that to transparent. And then I'm going to go to fill color and show you an option we haven't talked about before, the gradient. So it defaults to solid. If you go over to the right and click gradient, it gives you some options. It's going to fade one color to another color. So for this one, I think I'm going to start just with one of the built-in gradients. Later I'll show you how you can make that a custom color combination. So now I want to do like a hill in front of that because I chose farm animals for my theme. So I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to look at my other options, and I'm going to try to find something that would work good for a hill. And I see down here it's actually made for a flowchart, but I can use it for this. So I'm going to just make the shape, and then I will go back and adjust it because obviously I don't want my shape to be on the side. I'm going to go ahead and give it a color here to start with. Now I have my select tool. I'm going to rotate this, and I'll give you a tip. If you hold down the shift key as you rotate, it helps it rotate more smoothly. So now I can move it down and drag it over. Okay, so now I have a hill. If you want to add more details to your sky, you could certainly use any of the default shapes. There's clouds, for example. So if I wanted to add some clouds, and turn off that border again, I could do that. If I want to add, there's a sun, there's all sorts of shapes that are built in. But remember, you can also create your own shapes. So if I wanted to, maybe I want to have like shapes that go through my sky, I can use the polyline tool. I can click this. The polyline, remember, makes straight edges. And I can connect those and turn off my border. I'm going to go to the gradient and try to find another color combination that I like. And I could repeat that. So really I should have done this before I added the hills, but I forgot about it. That's okay, we can fix it. So now that I haven't changed it, it's gonna do the gradient that I had on the last one. So this is a way that you can add some details and make your background more interesting. Okay, now since I wanna get those behind the hills and the clouds, I can click on the cloud, go to order, bring to front, and I can do the same thing down on my hill. Right click, order, bring to front. And then everything's back where I had it. If I want to have another cloud, for example, I can always copy it and paste it. So I clicked on it and then I use the shortcut Control C. Now I'm going to do shortcut Control V. And now I have another cloud that I can rotate, I can resize, and play around with that. Another option that you can do is you can add a drop shadow. So if I go to Format and Format Options, it'll pull it up over here on the side, and you can add a drop shadow. If you do this little caret, you can even change the angle of the shadow, the distance, the transparency, and all of that stuff. So that's another way that you can, add a little interest to these. Okay, so then if I want to build an animal on top of it, because that's my theme, I'm going to go to Insert Image and search the web. This is going to help me find a starting point. So I'm going to do a pig. So I'm just searching for pig. Oh, that's really cute. And it's hard to pick which picture to use. Tough choice. I think I might do this one. So I select it, hit insert, and then I can resize it a bit to figure out where I want it to go. I think I might make it maybe I want it to go right here. So that's a good starting point for me. I'm going to go back and I'm going to switch to my curve shape and I'm going to start to build my pig. Now, since I know it's easier to go back to front, I'm going to actually do this back leg first because it seems like it's the furthest away. And I don't have to line this up perfectly. It's just to kind of help me get some of the shapes. Okay, so now I have a leg. Turn off that border again because that's how I prefer the look. And I'm going to go to the gradient because I really enjoy the gradients. So I'm going to hit custom because I didn't see a color combination that looked right for what I was doing. And I can pick either, two of these colors that are already here, which I might do for this one. That looks like it'll work pretty good. Okay. And I will make some custom ones here in a minute. So now I'm going to go back to my curve tool. I'm going to make the back, I'm going to make the belly because I want that hip to kind of overlap it eventually. Okay, and I think that's too dark. That one's decent. So you can always change the colors too. It doesn't have to match exactly what you're doing. Okay, now I'm going to make this leg. And I'm going to customize this gradient because I want it to be a little bit lighter. So if you click on the square, it will allow you to choose your color. I'm going to make this one a little bit lighter too. Oops, that was the same one. Here we go. And then you just keep on building. Once you have the main shapes, you can drag your photo over to the side. That way you can see to get more details added. So I'm going to go back to my curve tool and I'm going to make kind of a curvy shape over here for the eye. Oh, that's too dark. Let's make another gradient. I'm going to make another shape for the other eye using my curved line tool. There we go. I got switched to screw. And I really like that it saves the gradients that you created so you don't have to make them from scratch every time. I'm going to make a shape for the nose here. And then I'm going to do another overlapping shape. And make that a darker color. I'm going to make a custom gradient there to make it kind of grayish. And then I'm going to switch to my shape tool here to make the little nostrils. Once again, I'm turning off the outline because I prefer that look. Here, I'll just copy and paste that so it's there twice. Okay, now I need to give my pig some eyes. I'm going to use my curve tool for that because they're not circles. Whoops. I'm just going to make those ones black. Maybe I'll just make the feet a little more detailed, and then I could add some spots if I want to, but I might just keep it pink and simplify it a little bit. Just add the little mark here to show that they do have a division, although it's being tricky. So if that happens, you can make the shape bigger off to the side, and then you can shrink it and drag it over there. I think I want a custom color. It needs to be darker. The other direction. Okay, so I don't need this pig picture anymore, so I'm going to delete that. Then if I want to move it, I could select it all and just drag it over. You need to add USA or an amount, so I'm going to click the text box tool and I'm just going to click and drag. I'm going to type capital USA, and then I can change the size and the font and the color. I think I want to make it white, and I'm going to pick a font, which I kind of like how lobster looks, and then I can choose a size, make it a little bit bigger. And I'll just adjust where that is. Tap it into the right spot. It looks a little bit funny with my pig there, so I could put it over in the other corner maybe. And then when you're happy with it, you'll go to File, Download JPEG, and you'll be good to go. So we want to make a series of stamps, and we need to have the style consistent. So I'm going to show you. First I made the rooster. So I created my background, and then to make the next one, I went to File, Make a Copy. When you do that, it's going to give you a copy that's exactly the same, so that way you can change things and you don't have to start from scratch. So if you go to File, Make a Copy, it's a little easier to keep some things consistent. So the next one I did was a cow. You can see I changed the colors in the sky, and I had a sun, so I moved that up higher because I wanted it to be like morning through night. I did the same process to build my cow. I made a copy of that to make my goat. And then I did the last one starting from scratch so I could show you how to do it. But if you want to change the color of something, you just click on it and then go to your fill color, and you can adjust that. If you want to move something around, click on it. You can move it with your arrow tool. You can hit the up, down, right, left arrows to adjust that. And that's how you can get going. So remember, you want to have a series where the style is consistent throughout.